Everyone, welcome to Finverse. Today we are going to cover our first news, which is about Haldiram. Haldiram is the king of Indian snacks and is making headlines, but not for the famous gujiyas or son papdi. This time, it's all about business. Singapore-based investment firm Temasek has acquired a 9% stake in Haldiram, and there is a talk of another 6% going to Alpha Wave Global. But what does all this mean? What's an investment firm? What's a stake? And why should you care? Stick around because today we are breaking it all down in the most fun way possible. Let's first go to what is an investment firm. As you can see on the screen that it is written that Temasek is a Singapore headquartered global investment firm. So imagine you have a friend who is super rich, not just rich, but billionaire level rich. Now, instead of spending all their money on cars and vacations, they invest it in different businesses to grow their wealth. That's exactly what an investment firm does. These firms manage money for wealthy people, companies, or even governments by investing in businesses with high growth potential. Temasek, the firm buying Haldiram's stake, is one such giant from Singapore with investments worth around $40 billion in India alone. Coming to what is stake, let's just say that you have a pizza and the pizza is divided into multiple slices. Now, if you pay for half of it, you get half the slices, right? In the business world, also, a company is like that pizza, and a stake is the percentage of ownership someone has in that company. Temasek just got a 9% slice of the Haldiram's pizza. So that could be considered like 9 slices out of 100 slices of the pizza. Coming to the deal size and equity size, as you can see on the screen here, that the deal size is rupees 8,000 crore, which is for 9% stake, which puts the valuation of the company at rupees 86,000 crore. And now, since Temasek got an equity stake, it means they now own a part of the company by buying shares directly from its owners. So, first, I would like to explain the structure of a company. So, there are, suppose this is a company, and these are the owners who have put their money initially into the company. These could be the founders or promoters. And then there are shareholders, people who want to invest in the company. Now, this could happen in two ways. One could be that the company can start an IPO where the company can issue its shares to the larger public and then people can give their money and buy their shares. Or the company could go through private equity where the company does not have to be listed. That is, it does not have to issue its shares to the public. Instead, it could just ask some major companies like Blackstone, etc., which are willing to invest in such companies. When these private equity firms invest in a company, they also bring their experience and they give financial advice to the company and helps them in growing their businesses. Coming to the role of financial advisor, here in this news article, we can see that PwC is the financial advisor to this deal. So big deals like this does not happen over a cup of chai, of course. So companies need financial advisors, specialists who guide them through valuations, negotiations, and legal matters. So here again the PwC is playing the role for Haldiram. Then what is private equity? As I mentioned here, private equity, Blackstone, etc. So private equity is when big investors buy shares in companies that are not listed on the stock market. That means that the company has not issued its shares to the larger public. Unlike public companies where you and I can buy shares, private equity deals involve select investors who are super rich. That's why Temasek buying into Haldiram is a classic private equity deal. Coming to an IPO, I'll just explain IPO in more detail. So, IPO is initial public offering, which is when a company decides to go from private to public, selling shares on the stock market. Investors think this stake sale could be Haldiram's first step towards an IPO. Why do they think so? Because normally what happens is when company is going just before a company goes for an IPO, private equity firms try to invest their money into the company so that when the company does go for an IPO, they can exit at a premium. What does exiting at a premium mean? It means that suppose the private equity firm invested 100 rupees, So when the company goes for initial public offering, the share prices increase over time when the company shows growth, and then maybe the share price will reach someday to 120 rupees, and so the private equity firm will make a profit of rupees 20 per share. Unlisted companies are basically those companies who are private, who have not gone for an IPO, and who get investments from private equity firms or investment firms. Then coming to joint management and control. So there was also one news where Blackstone tried to get 20% share of Haldiram, but Haldiram did not agree to the valuation as well as the condition for joint management control. So when an investor not only buys a stake but also wants a decision making power, that's called joint management control. And this might not be beneficial for the owners because they might want to have some autonomy over what they want to do with their business, but that's not how it goes in the business world. Then coming to Indian exposure, so there was this mention that Temasek has an Indian exposure of about 40 billion, which means that the company has invested a huge sum in Indian businesses, and they are planning to get like $10 billion more over the next 3 years invested into India. Then coming to the merger, here it was mentioned that the Haldiram business two of the Haldiram businesses merged and they formed together Haldiram Snacks Food Private Limited. So, merger is basically when two companies come together so that they can merge their technologies, their operational efficiencies, their employees, their creativity, and their patents so that they can earn more profits together and hold a higher market share. So there we have it. The Temasek Haldiram deal is more than just a business transaction. It is a sign that India's snack giant might be preparing for an IPO soon. So what do you think? Will Haldiram go public? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Finverse for more finance news explained in the coolest way. Thank you.